What is up, General? Aren't you a sight for sore eyes? I forgot where the hell I'm at. Did you watch any of the shenanigans last night? What am I doing? I'm actually, um, I was gonna go live anyway, but um, been a strange truck. I got drunker than fuck last night, so I had to walk here. But like it never fails when I decide to like really put one on. My mom will call and be like, "There's coyotes out here, or there's somebody stealing, or something." But and half the time, I think she's just losing her goddamn mind. But um, she said there's been a strange truck going by here real slow a bunch of times. So all right, uh, I mean I'm sobered up some now, but it had to be pretty obvious that I was pretty messed up. But trying to pretend like I'm not. So I walked here, which I don't live that all that far away. Um, and yeah, there's been a strange vehicle going by here. I don't think that they're looking at my parents' house per se, but we there used to be a big thing around here, like all summer long. You would see Florida plates just kind of pulled off to the sides of the roads all over the place, and we have to run them off or whatever. But and it's not so bad now that they've legalized pot in a lot of places. It's still not legal here in any capacity. But um, for whatever reason, people used to think that Indiana's ditchweed was like the best thing you could get. And it was all garbage. It was ditchweed. It had very little THC. It was leftovers from when hemp was a legal crop. You can you still go to prison for it, even if you don't know it's growing on your property. But uh, so you'd see people just out here in random places in the country, usually with Florida plates. They could be from all over, but and they'd be looking for ditchweed. It's not cultivated. So anyway, I couldn't really get a good look at the plate, but it's not the same color as ours are here. So I don't know if it's something like that or if they are looking for a place to rob. Because the meth heads will pull up here and they'll cut your whole freaking car apart to get to your catalytic converter and take it and sell it. I mean, they'll steal any part they can get their hands on, but they like to steal tools, whatever they can get a hold of. It's getting daylight now, so either they're waiting for the light to be able to see to go get what they've already decided on. They don't usually do it. Well, I shouldn't say that. They don't usually do it at this time of morning. They either do it in the middle of the night when everybody's asleep or in the middle of the day when everybody's at work. But if somebody's on meth, it's hard to know what their thought process is. If you get a chance, if you feel like watching any of the bullshit, I didn't see all of it, but you should watch Cat Eye's panel. FCC got got Mitch really worked up. It was hilarious. Like you could hear his blood pressure rising, and then oh, I only watched one other thing. What was it? Yeah. Cigar Faces. I had not seen JD in a chat in so long. I forgot how weak his game is. Oh, she privated it. Well, I know somebody that might have it. I don't want to say it here, but I'll let you know later. Yeah, I noticed several people left because of them. But JD was like, "I know you've got windmills up by your house." Oh, really? You have that on secret intel, do you? Being as I show them pretty much every time I go live. Dumbass. But he says he's already been up here, but I doubt that. Apparently, he's going to go and talk to my neighbors. There's a few problems with that. Is that they have doxed the wrong Powell family, and as far as I know, they still ain't figured it out yet. But if they show up out here with their weirdness, like people don't understand how it works. They like it. People aren't going to stand for it. They'll either blast them off of their porch themselves, or uh, they would call me and keep them busy and wait till I got there. But they're trying to threaten me into giving up Warbots information, which is not going to happen. Not by that means, anyway. People go missing around, and they don't put it in the paper because when you put crime in your newspaper, your property values go down. They cover stuff up quite a bit in that regard. But people don't understand how. I mean, it's not like an every month thing, right? It happens several times a year just that I know about, and I'm sure there's more that I've never heard of. But like there's people have security cameras and stuff, but like there's no witnesses out here. If I were to pop somebody right in front of me, I would have no problem getting a piece of equipment to put them out there where the rest of them are. No witnesses, no cameras. Cops don't come out here unless they absolutely have to. And even when somebody calls them, if there's anything else going on, like on the other side of the county, it can take them a couple hours to get here. I shoot guns in the middle of the night. Nobody's ever. Well, I can't say I don't know that for a fact, but I've never seen a cop out here looking for me for that reason. Hell, even that time when I used a little bit more than I shouldn't have and blew the neighbors' windows out of their house, they still never called the cops. They just came down and yelled at me for about a half hour, and I was going to pay for it anyway, but that was all they cared about. Yeah. The thing about Anthony though is that was all that was all an act. Warbot can say what he wants, but I listened to Warbot only showed what made him look good, but Anthony played the rest of it. And Warbot was just as in on that as Anthony was. And then when things didn't go right, Warbot threw him under the bus. And so now, I mean, had that not happened, Anthony wouldn't be as bad as he is now. I mean, Junie went up on Cat Eye's channel last night and said exactly what I said before. She said exactly what I just said now. And but it's true. But yeah, JD is a fool. Like, he doesn't understand that people see him for the doddering. He's just a doddering old man. Like, he doesn't get that people see that. And yeah, GG is spineless. And I'm not saying Anthony's not fucked up. I'm not saying that at all. Um, but it wouldn't have gotten as bad as it did if you didn't have help. Hey, what's up, JM? Why, thank you. Oh, you were probably talking about the sunrise. I hope he's getting some rest. That man works a lot. Don't send him the link in case he is. You know what I mean? I don't want him to. Not a weirdo. Oh, hang on. I might be a little bit of a weirdo. Oh, they're gone. Anyway, I would rather Jeff get some rest instead of hanging out here. Not that I don't want him here, but you know what I'm saying. Hopefully the band will. I mean, they're already starting to take off, but they play the wrong kind of music to get a top 40 hit. But hopefully something very big will happen soon, and they'll need a logistics manager. He can give up his day job. I have also been invited on the tour bus and the private jet. Told him to send me a helicopter. Well, I have not seen that truck go by since. Now you watch, they probably came up the other way. They're stealing tools as we speak. Heck yeah, I'm going to be the band's official cocaine tester. Now, they don't actually do cocaine, um, but still, I think that's an important job. I went to high school with a guy. He was a couple years ahead of me, but like Rockstar was his only, that was the only thing he was ever going to be. Well, supposed to be. And he has been in some like locally popular bands around the country, but uh, one day he called up and he's like, "Man, I finally did it. I got into the big time." I'm like, "Oh no shit. So who are you playing for?" He said, "Conway Twitty's son." I'm like, "Who the fuck is that?" I know who Conway Twitty is, but oh no, that wasn't the truck. You didn't have to correct that, General. I just assumed that you were Native American there for a second. That's all. But it's I never realized how many rock band. Well, probably in all genres of music, but an awful lot of rock bands, um, like they don't actually play some of the instruments on their albums. They play live because they look like rock stars. Um, but like Motley Crue has used session musicians, Guns N' Roses, um, Rat. Just there's a bunch of them that it's not really them playing on the studio albums. A lot of them just can't play worth a shit. What's up, Spokes? Spokes and I found ourselves. Um, we found ourselves within a reasonably close proximity of each other. I'll put it that way. Um, so, so I drove over an hour and a half to meet the guy. Right? I'm like, "Hey, dude." I shake his hand. All he did was reach out, grab my ass, and leave. He didn't even say anything. I hope it was worth it, Spokes. Yeah, it's supposed to get up to 105 here. But we were under a heat advice yesterday. I got text warning that said we were under a heat advisory starting yesterday at 2 p.m. Uh, but it also said it was only going to get up to 80, and that was all it got. So I don't know how they consider that a heat advisory. But today, in the next few days, it's supposed to or could get up over 100. I'm sure you did, Spokes. You probably still haven't watched it yet either. Now I know what every girl I ever dated feels like. Oh, no, no. It was more than a walk by. He stood in front of me for a couple of seconds. You know, it wasn't a complete hit and run. I mean, he didn't make eye contact. Well, okay. Attack would imply that I didn't completely. Uh, attack would imply that I resisted in some way. Yeah, this is Pride Month. The Pride parades have been insane this year. Have you guys seen it? Like their theme is federal agent. They're running around beating people up and burning shit. It's wild. Like next year they should probably be like cowboys and Indians or something. Well, maybe you were satisfied, Spokes. I was left with. I was left completely turned on, but not finished. Again, like every woman I've ever dated. So I'm starting to understand what that feels like. Yeah, I keep forgetting to. I'll make it short about it later, but um, maybe not anybody here, maybe general, but some of y'all talk to. I forget what she went by. RC Sea Monkey. She disappeared a couple of months ago. I thought she was mad or something at first because she used to comment on most everything that I did. Then she just stopped. And then I went back and looked, and like all of her comments were gone. So I I thought maybe she nuked her account, or I thought I pissed her off or something. Then I hardly ever check my email, or at least the account that I use for this. And I went checked it a few days ago, and I had an email from her because we'd emailed back and forth for something once. Um, Turns out YouTube nuked her account, but she had no content, and I've never seen her be anything but nice. So I don't know. She didn't know why it got nuked either, but she can't. I was trying to explain to her that she'll have to make another uh, Google account to be able to make another one. So I don't know what that's about. Who hurt me? You did at the moment. I was actually wearing assless chaps. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see it. The sun's probably washing it out, but there's a crane going by in front of us. I can't see it on the screen. They're finally off the endangered list. Like they were always around here. I was like, why are these things endangered? We see them all the time, but they weren't in very many places apparently. Those things will scare the hell. Like if you're walking along a ditch bank, and you scare one up, those things they're huge. They'll scare the hell out of you. I'm so used to the birds, I don't really even hear them unless somebody says something. Whatever. Monsanto has gone to nicotine based um, pesticides. I haven't. I walk around out here without bug spray because the mosquitoes disappeared a few years ago, which is nice. But I haven't heard a cricket all year. Ordinarily, there'd be grasshoppers all over. I haven't seen a single grasshopper. Um, haven't heard a single locust. Like it's weird. Maury, I watch Maury. Um, his stuff. I don't think I'm subscribed, but his stuff pops up in my feed all the time. Yeah, I saw that about Rami, but that's not the first time that something like that. Rami was like the first catcher I ever went at. He started out as a predator poacher, but Alex kicked him out. But that by far is not the first time something like that's come up about him. That person's drunk. I don't know. I haven't watched Rami. I don't know, probably over 2 years. Um, but this kind of thing has been exposed before. I don't know how long you've been around, Alt, but I did see that uh, Maury episode. I'm trying to think. One of the girls went up on somebody's channel. I'm trying to think of her name now. Um, Damn it! It wasn't that she was underage. It was they they went out. One thing that he did was she was having some kind of breakdown, and he played it. He just let it go live, and she didn't know that he was live, and he just let it play. But she came back later and showed some of their text messages, and man, I don't remember what all she said. I don't want to throw something out there if I'm not sure. But yeah, that's not the first time something like that's come up about him. I'm sorry, guys. I can't look at the sun anymore. I'm starting to see spots. We always streaming outside. The OnlyFans chick. Yeah. Yeah, I do believe she had an OnlyFans. I can't remember her name. And I everything I've said so far, I remember I know is true, but the other thing I'm thinking of might be a different chick, but oh man. But there are reasons why I don't fuck with Rami anymore. And it's not just because he's a scammer. I don't know if you guys ever saw that one where it was obvious he was going through withdrawal, but he said he was in the hospital because he had COVID, and he's going, guys, I'm dying, I'm dying. Hit my cash out. Like he was literally saying he was dying. He's going, I can't breathe, and he gets up out of the hospital bed and was messing with the oxygen. Yeah. Then he said he was an MMA fighter, but a guy that egotistical. If he really was, he would have shown a gym at some point, or showing him actually sparring or something. It's just like all that shit. is one thing. Yeah, Cat Eye's panel was pretty good last night. I guess you privated it though. FCC had Mitch. I mean, you know how FCC has a way of kind of very subtly getting under people's skin before they even know he's doing it. But he had Mitch going pretty good last night. It was funny. She was the one he had at the state. Yeah, I think so. I think you're right, General. Yeah, that was the thing. That he got. We found where he. I shouldn't say we. I didn't find it. Um, but somebody found. Rami actually got arrested for smuggling heroin into a courthouse. Then he tried to say that it wasn't his heroin. But it was in his wallet. I don't know. I don't carry my buddy's heroin in my wallet. I don't know about you guys. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you all. Hey, what's up, section? What's up, Anthony? But there were minors in Rami's Discord. That's what I'm thinking of. There were minors in Rami's Discord, and that's what it was that came out was Discord DMs between him and a couple of girls that he knew were minors. It looked very similar to the stuff that Maury showed. And then after that, and I, I don't know if anybody proved that they were. Man, I'm trying to think of how this went. I don't want to misstate anything when it comes to calling somebody a pred or whatever, but it came it it came out from one minor, then another one right after that. But I don't know if anybody has any proof that they were minors. But in the messages, it doesn't really matter because uh, they told Rami how old they were, so he knew. And he was like, "Oh, you can't say anything to anybody." Instead of blocking them, he just kept going with it, and like he talked just like, well, like when a pred's trying to be real cautious, he talked just like that. And then I think after that, somebody pretended to be. Oh God, I just don't remember exactly how all that went. So everything I've said so far is how it was, but like I'm remembering things, but I don't know if I'm remembering remembering them the right way. It was Jerry Garcia's heroin. Interesting. Rami and Locksmith are buddies. Hey, they might. Well, Locke said that he talked to. It sounded like a bunch of virtuous pedophiles. He didn't say. He didn't say who they were. So. No, Rami's not virtuous though. Never mind. I'm talking up my ass now. There was a. There was another one. It was either a separate one, or maybe I'm thinking of the OnlyFans chick again. But no, it was a different one because she didn't go. The one I'm thinking of now didn't she didn't go on. It was offered to her, but she didn't go on any panels about it. But she swears up and down. She said she can't prove it, but it feels like she was drugged when she was hanging out with Rami. She never went and got tested or anything, but she said she hadn't had very much to drink, and next thing she knows, she's waking up. That might have happened to the OnlyFans chick too. I'm not positive on that. Generally, I mean, if there's one accusation and zero proof, that's, it could be or it could not be. But when there's just repeated stuff, like there's usually something to it. Rami, I think you met Cosby, but I think I heard some weird shit about Crosby from Crosby, Stills, and Nash too. So I guess either one works. What's up, NTF? Yeah, he did. He made her. Yeah. There he is. What's up, Jeff? We're actually watching the beans grow. This time of year, you can, if you stand here long enough, you can actually see them. Yeah, we're just talking about the usual stuff. Crops. Anthony being an asshole. Sodomy. Yeah, just the way he treats the people around him is something else. I take it you got to work today, Jeff. You're up awful early. Although when I worked day in and day out, didn't matter if I had the day off. I still got up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, Alt knows what's up. Well, we were saying earlier, Anthony, that um, at least my theory is that you wouldn't be as bad now had Warba not thrown you under the bus. And if I'm wrong, feel free to call me out on it, but I don't think I am. Well, Jeff, if you don't actually have to be there, you could just pay some East Indian guy like $20 a day to do your job. Outsourcing is all the rage. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't know how much contact you had with DG before all this, but I looked at everything. Um, I know that Warbot had a huge hand in the putting you up to stuff, and he was not discouraging it in any way. And then when shit went south, he didn't. I would still have some respect for him if he would have just admitted his part in it and not completely throwing you under the bus. Now, that doesn't mean I'm excusing anything that you've done or are doing, especially not doing now. Um, but I still think you got fucked on that deal. Well, all right, Anthony, if you understand that it's not, how come you can be reasonable here, but when you're out on the YouTube streets, like you do whatever it is you do, and I don't see most of it because I don't watch a whole lot of this stuff, so I got to hear about it third hand. But like it doesn't take that much effort to not be an asshole. Let me rephrase. It takes a lot of effort for me to not be an asshole, but it's doable. Yeah, I know, NTF. I know it. Well, how about this, Anthony? The next time you're about to do a dirtbag thing, you stop and be like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. It'll take time, but people around here have short memories. Look at all of the pieces of shit that used to be Nunyanites, people who knew better. And then when Nunya was done with them and threw them out, people let them back in over here. I don't agree with that. There's 4 or 5 of them that shouldn't be here, I don't think. I can control who's on my channel, but I can't control anybody else's. And NTF is probably too forgiving sometimes. I'm not saying it would happen overnight, but she has every reason to not even allow me. I mean, granted, I didn't do any of the stuff that other people have done to her, but she has reason to. Like, if I was her, I probably wouldn't have given me a wrench, at least not so quick. If I was her, I probably wouldn't invite me to the private ones, but she does. So, I mean, granted, I wasn't doing the same level of stuff, but it's not about jeffing your way back in, Anthony. I'm not saying be fake. I'm just saying don't be an asshole. It's not that hard. Yeah. See Monkey Jeff, I mean, there was just where was it, Las Vegas? This dude went and gunned down a couple. They're blaming it on a copyright strike, but like the stuff had been building up for a while. There was way more to it than a copyright strike. What's up, Cole? I don't know if I said hello to you earlier. Steve doesn't have a set of balls on him. All he's good at is threatening women. Oh, I'm guessing the cops probably don't really care all that much. They're like, yeah, it's that guy, so. Although, I mean, investigations take longer than you think, so who knows? Cole probably sent a carrier pigeon again. He's done that shit to me before. He's like, hey, I sent you a message. And I'll go, look, what the? I don't see any message. And then 3 or 4 days later, sure enough, carrier pigeon shows up with a note tied to its ankle. Yeah, you might want to get those. Make sure you don't get the assless ones because he'll only shoot you in the back. Yeah, that might be a probability too, Alt. JD is an irrelevant hillbilly. They've got like 6 people watch them, and they're like, "Oh, we're the council." Like, bro, it's. And I don't usually even say bro, but nobody cares what they think. I mean, they're banned from almost all of our channels, so if people would just stop watching them altogether and stop worrying about their threats that are never going to happen. Most people over here, I hate to say over here, but it is what it is, would not even know who JD is if it wasn't for people making posts and stuff about him all the time. What happened with the jar? Well, I got pretty lit last night, pretty much sober now, but I still got a little bit left. Sometimes that stuff, man, I had planned on drinking that, and then I have a full bottle of Crown I was going to tap into, but it ended up not happening. Yeah, I don't get that, man. Like, JD doxed Nanya and a few other people over there. That's like they're so desperate just for the numbers. You know what I mean? I was told James isn't really on her panel anymore. I wonder if he finally realized that she was fucking him over. But like when somebody restreams it, you can see her chat. Like it barely moves. Like it'll show, I don't know, 70 people in there, but the chat is just at a snail's pace. And so most of those names in there I don't recognize. So I think some of it is people that are just too embarrassed for anybody to know who they are. If you're embarrassed to be seen somewhere, I wouldn't be there. Oh, I don't. You've never had a live though, have you, Cole? You're not out there. I mean, I've been seeing you posting more lately than what you used to. Yeah, she is collecting tards. That's the thing. She like all the, not all of them, but like Ryan, Becky, Jeff, um, and a few others that have like they have diminished mental capacity, and she takes advantage of that. And a bunch of people that have domestic assault in their background. Tommy, Clown, Cap. The Clown was actually arrested for touching a child. I was thinking about something last night. I know it's hard for y'all to believe, but it happens sometimes. Um, if you get off into the frayed ends of things, you like there's tons of evidence uh, that supports that Mitch is getting paid to disrupt the pred catching community, but it was a huge fail. And he actually did us a favor in a way, because this isn't really the pred catching community. And the people he chose to affiliate himself with are like all the third rung grifters. And that did more to separate them from us, which isn't a bad thing. Yeah, that's the thing. They want to call people over here predator protectors, but we threw Ed off of the ship immediately when that paperwork dropped. When we had actual proof. Clown tells everybody that they had this video that exonerated him, but that's not the case. That video is why he got arrested, and they just take his word for it. I think they know better. They just don't care. And there's more stuff about Clown. They make fun of meth heads, but Clown's a meth head. He's got meth charges also. And he does this sympathy bit where, oh, my wife got killed. My wife got killed. They weren't married. Not only were they not married, but she had filed a restraining order on him. They weren't even together at the time. You know, they didn't get rid of Ed. We did. It still kills me that Ed went live and just thought the first thing he did was dig at me because he knew how I felt. But he didn't even stay live the whole time because it was the people in there that I don't know if he thought people were still gonna support him. I don't know, but they already wanted him gone. So it didn't matter what they thought. I'm not sure what. All I have is like a 40-second clip. Um, and I'm not sure what Laura was trying to say, but Laura went up there last night and she was trying to, I think she was trying to tell the truth about something, and they were really rude to her. I mean, I've got no love lost for her, but they were telling her to, Clown was up there and whoever else, but they were telling her to shut the fuck up, and Nanya kicked her off the panel. I don't really know what it was about though, because it kind of picked up in the middle of it. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. FCC absolutely wrecked Mitten Sappy. It was funny. I got a message to Ed because someone hurt his feelings and Nanya in the gang. Yeah, exactly. When Ed messaged me, I didn't answer him back. And obviously, I wasn't trying to hide anything, or I wouldn't have posted the fucking message. But it's okay for Ryan to reach out to him for information that was already well known. Everybody knew who Big Moose was by the time Ryan reached out to him. Yeah, FCC is good at, he's real good at playing people, and sometimes he plays people. It, man, I need to shut the fuck up. I don't want to blow it for him, but like he's been playing people for a long time, and they still don't know they're being played. You don't know who Big Moose is? Are you being serious, Cole? My first gut feeling was right, and I'm like, no, it can't be him because uh, Big Moose was. I mean, it was probably just part of his game, but uh, Big Moose was like way too cool to me. Oh, Moon. Okay, maybe I misread that. I I thought like the first time I saw a picture of Moon, it was her and Ryan in the same, like they were side by side, but that don't mean anything. Like I honestly thought that was uh, Ryan in a wig. I honestly thought that. And then when I found out it wasn't, I thought people were fucking with me when they were saying, no, that's, no, we know who that is, and it's not Ryan. A decoy pick, yeah, that's what I thought it was. But I've seen Ryan's decoy picks, and like you can tell it's him, but, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but Moon was quite a bit heavier than Ryan's decoy picks. But somebody, I knew that she was going to be, somebody hit me up and they had, they wanted to dox her, but they wanted to do it because Ryan, they wanted to do it to get back at Ryan for the shit that Ryan's done to me. And I didn't support that. I'm like, dude, just don't. And I don't know if they ever did or not. Somebody did. Um, but I went to a few of the channel owners that I trust wouldn't ever share it. And I gave them her name so that they would know to look out for it on their channels and be able to delete it, because I don't agree with doxing somebody to get back at somebody else. I think that's bullshit. And the individual that hit me up with that, maybe it was them. It was a while after. But I figure if that person found it, other people probably found it too. What are you looking at? No, she existed, Cole. Other people have said that she'd been on live streams and stuff. I never actually saw that myself, but yeah, I didn't know that he said that all. But yeah, when you have a bunch of people that can't stand you and they know you have one thing that you care about, duh, that's what they're gonna attack. It's like I don't. If I am dating somebody, I'm not saying that I am. I'm not. I'm not telling anybody. I'm just not. Especially if it's somebody that y'all know. And I don't know how many kids Moon. I mean, it's sad that she passed away with little kids and stuff, but and I don't know how many she had, but yeah, she was real. I just think it's so freaking strange. I mean, Ryan is. If I met a chick that looked just like me, I wouldn't date her. There's just no way. uh, somebody tells you to go fuck yourself, I guess you could do it, but um, that it would just, no. Yeah, that would just be too weird to. Yeah, no. I don't even want to think about it. I mean, the first thing that would go through my mind is, I mean, I don't think that my parents gave anybody up for adoption. I don't know that my, I don't think that my dad ever fathered any kids before he met my mom or after. But if you're not there, you don't really know. Like the first thing I would assume is that we are some kind of blood relative. If I want to date a blood relative, I'll just go to a family reunion. Some of the family don't really care about that kind of thing. I mean, I don't know if Ryan has any brothers or sisters, but like, what if when your siblings got switched around in the hospital? Like, all of that stuff would come to my mind before I would think of asking them out. It is astounding, Cole. It's insane. Yeah, I'm sober now. That sucks. I can either go back home and start all over again, or I can just save it for tonight. That's probably what I'll do. I never did see that truck go back by though, although I've been over here for a while. Yeah, that is very true, Jeff. But tonight is never guaranteed, and I would hate to leave just a little bit of moonshine behind. Yeah, that is a. I've had that jar actually since 2021 because it came out. Like it's not. It's it's usually the same every year, but every now and then they'll have one year that for whatever reason, it's just better than all the other. So I've actually had that jar since 2021. Just been sipping on it here and there, but last night I decided I was just gonna finish it. The recipe they use is it's corn and apples. They call it apple shine, but and it don't. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I'm sure you've had something like that before, but that so-called moonshine they sell in stores is not moonshine. You can't legally sell moonshine. Right on, Constantine. I'll leave it. I have when I go live straight through YouTube, um, I have them set to save pri- privately automatically, and I do that because of the Ambien streams. I want to be able to review those before I make it public. Um, but right after I shut it off, I'll go and make it public. I don't think we didn't give away any state secrets this time, did we? Yeah, my family been making shine for I don't know how long, but this isn't actually made by anybody I'm related to. Um, it's just good, so every year I'll get a couple of jars. Yeah, I manually set it. If I'm sober, and as long as nobody's said anything that I don't want to leave up, I make them public right away. I'm trying to keep the old family traditions alive. I don't make it in near the quantities that my dad's uncles did, but I still have the old recipe. All right, yo. Thanks for hanging out. If you can't be full on weird, at least try to annoy some people today. That's your assignment. Later.